we're making split pea soup again, but this time we're doing it a different way. So if you have an extra ham bone, so we did not, but in St. Louis, we do have honey baked ham stores. So we went and bought a ham bone. So this 4-pound ham bone was $8.99 plus tax, so $9.47. And there was a whole bunch of ham still on it. We cut a bunch off and had a ham sandwich last night. And now that it's completely defrosted, there's still plenty of ham on it. So I'm gonna stick this in my stock pot, cover it completely with water, add celery, onions, and carrots. And first we're gonna make the stock. We are not adding the green peas yet. We're just making a ham stock first. So this is what the ham bone looks like. And look at all this, like it still has a whole bunch of ham on it, but it actually had enough to make a sandwich. So so you get a sandwich and ham stock for $9. And then the best part was, for whatever reason, they also sent us an email for a $9 coupon. So we're gonna get another ham bone for free next week. All right, we added onion, celery, and carrots, and now we're gonna let it cook on a medium to high heat for 3 hours. It's been cooking for an hour and a half. Everything's breaking down nicely. I forgot to mention that you should cut some of the ham off of the ham bone in chunks so it'll break down and cook more evenly. And you see I have like shredded carrots in here. Yeah, I just bought a bag of already shredded carrots because the price was pretty much the same and it saved me time. So yeah, cut off your pieces of ham. I don't think I showed that step. It's been 3 hours, and we just taste tested it, and it's tasting good, but it's not quite there yet. So we are gonna add a little salt and cook it for another hour. It's been another hour and it's tasting really good. So now we're going to strain it completely as the cats fight. And what was I saying? I got distracted by the cats. Anyway, we're gonna strain out the stock and then we're gonna let the stock cool down to room temperature because we want to skim off the excess fat before we add the split peas and then cook it with the split peas. They just don't stop. These are the two boys. No? It's Sally one. Oh my God, it is Sally.
She's hopping around like a little spider.
It's Sally and Jack, not getting along at the moment. We just strained all the stock from this big pot to these two smaller ones, and then we pulled out this ham that we're going to cut up into smaller pieces and then add back to the stock when we do the peas. But again, I'm gonna let this cool down for a little bit because you can see how there's already like fat. And you could technically, if you don't wanna wait, you could just take a spoon and skim it right now, but it's a lot easier to skim when it solidifies a little more and it's not quite dinner time yet. So we've got time to kill. So we're gonna let it cool down a little bit and let this fat solidify. All right, it's been an hour and it hasn't quite solidified yet. And I feel like last time it solidified, it was like overnight and we're not waiting that long. So we were just gonna skim off the top and then we're gonna put it back in the big pot and get it back to boiling, add the peas and let that cook down until the peas are nice and soft. Should take about 20 to 40 minutes. I'll tell you how long it's once I'm done with it. Sorry, I hear kittens wanting dinner. Everybody wants their dinner. So this is the 2 bags of split peas rinsed, and Robert is finally chopping the ham. This is the brand of peas I like, but you know, use whatever your store has. And we're getting the broth back up to boiling, and it made 22 cups. So I am going to can 4 quart jars, pressure can it, and then we will eat the rest for dinner tonight and tomorrow night. So the reason that we skim the fat, and you're probably wondering, because my last split pea video, I did not skim the fat. Well, the last video I did, it was making split pea soup with just ham steaks bought at Walmart. So this was actually using a bone with the ham, and so that had a lot more fat. The steaks were lean, this ham bone was not, and you could leave the fat in, but we prefer to skim the fat out for the split pea soup. So anyway, that's why the difference in the two videos. The first one, we did not use fatty ham. This time we used a ham bone in it. Would you say it was a lot of fat, or?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fat, but
yeah, he skimmed off a lot of fat.
I think you get a fair amount of meals out of that ham, though, on the ham bone.
Yes, the ham bone was definitely worth the $9 because Robert got 2 or 3 sandwiches out of it, where it made 22 cups of stock, and he still has a decent amount of ham that he's chopping up.
I had enough for 2 sandwiches last night, and then
enough to add back into the soup.
that's honey baked ham.
Honey baked ham. Is it like a chain, or is it a St. Louis thing?
It's a chain.
It's a chain.
Yep.
It's been cooking for about 40 minutes. It's breaking down pretty good, and now I'm going to take my hand blender and immersion blend it to get a smooth texture. All right, the split pea soup is ready. I haven't tasted it yet, but Robert said it has to be one of the best split pea soups he's ever had. I think that ham bone from Heavenly Ham definitely is the best way to make it.
It is.
Let me taste this. Oh my God, that is so good. That is really good. I don't even know if I'm going to use my croutons. I got croutons. I like to put croutons on top. This is so good. I liked our last batch, but this is like...
This is different.
Yeah, it's different. 10 times better.
It's sweeter. It's got more flavor.
That ham bone, because Heavenly Ham adds some kind of sugar glaze. Did I say Heavenly Ham?
You did?
I'll tell you what. When I went to college, there was a Heavenly Ham that delivered to the college, and that's why I keep saying that.
It's honey baked ham.
They catered. I went to a college in Illinois. That's why I keep saying Heavenly Ham. So it's honey baked ham, and they sugar glaze it or something, and it just adds this extra little sweetness, and it's really, really, really good.
You can't beat the price.
No, the price, I know. $9 for that. I'm gonna lose the soup in the bowl. There is enough split pea soup left to make 4 quart jars, and they are going in the pressure canner, and since they're quart, they're 90 minutes. If I was using pint jars, it would be 75 minutes, but 90 minutes in my pressure canner. I inputted the time, so it takes 90 minutes once it reached pressure. In my experience on my particular electric canner, it takes about 20 minutes for it to reach pressure and for the countdown to start. And this is the soup that we have left over after I canned what I could. This is about 2 bowls worth, so it'll be either dinner tomorrow night, probably Friday night, because I like to skip every other day when I have leftovers. But yeah, that ham bone made a lot of meals.